we're pros.
Here we go.
I only see professionals here. Only unprofessional, but only professionals.
Appreciate that. Thank you. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode number 16 of the For Korf's Sake podcast. I'm one of your hosts, James Sawyer, and I'm joined by the microphone menace over there, Caitlin Fitzgerald.
Who bought me this mic? Yes, it was you. I've also realised I'm the same colour as the wall, and as the same colour as the hoodie, so I'm a floating head today. Super professional as always.
Like, you know, when the weathermen or weatherwomen wear green and they like blend into the background, that's basically you today.
Here we go, yeah.
There we go. Anyway, Caitlin, I guess not so much to talk about over the last weekend, a fair few things, but anyway, how was your week and weekend?
Yes, so no National League fixtures this weekend, but still lots of Korf action to talk about. Our midweek game against Nomads, Bristol Thunder over at the KCL Challenger. And this weekend, I was actually the junior inter-area competition doing some refereeing. So that was always fun. But yes, what about you, James? How's your week? No Korfball?
No Korfball this week. I was in Bucharest in Romania on a stag do, and so painfully decided to edit last week's podcast after a rather heavy one on the Thursday nights. Yeah, I've been smarter with decisions in the past, but so apologies for any editing errors there. Blame the Romanian spirits. But talking of all things last week and the fun, should we get straight into the National League, Caitlin?
The big fixture, Wednesday night, Epsom. It was quite the clash, would you say?
We mentioned on the podcast a couple of weeks ago that all National League teams should have to go to Epsom on a rainy Monday night and see if they can get it done, because that's the mark of success. And I have to say, Beck travelled to Nomads on Wednesday. It was a rainy night. It was a miserable night for sure in weather, but a fantastic result for us. It was a 26-23 win for Beck. So much closer than the kind of margin the week before that we played against them. And yeah, overall, Caitlin, what were your thoughts on the game?
Yeah, a completely different game, wasn't it, from the game a few days prior? It's always tough playing a team in quick succession like that. We always know Epsom's tough, much smaller. But it was a good atmosphere, good vibes, you know, but Nomads had lots of people down there. So it wasn't... it was a fun environment to play in. But I think Neela Brennan tactically really made it difficult for Beck and switched things up, putting both Bell brothers together. Not something we often see, but their height in such a small hall makes it really hard to kind of recycle the ball as a Beck team. I do want to call out, though, an absolute standout performance from Ashley Warner. We all know what she's capable of, and I think the last kind of 2-3 years, she's become that player we always knew was in there, like scoring loads of goals, defending so solidly, and really making sure Beck stuck with that lead. So yeah, Ashley Warner, what more can I say?
Yeah, nothing more really needs to be said. She was outstanding, and apologies for those guys. I need to speak to JD about this, John Denton. The game wasn't recorded, nor was the home game, which we don't like to see. We love to see recordings of Korfball. We're we advocate for that. So I'll be in JD's DMs and in his face at training, asking why not. And I know Ash and Billy Ashby, I'm sure will as well, who had phenomenal games again. But yeah, shout out Ashley Warner. For those that are unaware, there was always 1 or 2 goals in it. It was never ever like there was somebody who was running away with the victory. So it was a super tight game, and Ash scored so many goals in really, really big moments. Just incredible. But that sums up this week's National League action. But one of the other National League clubs, Bristol Thunder, were over in Europe playing in the Korfball Challenger Cup, which was basically hosted from Tuesday through till Saturday. An unfortunate 8th finish for Bristol Thunder. Yeah, Caitlin, break down your thoughts on the week's action and how Bristol got on.
Yeah, so these tournaments, we love them because they produce close games consistently. And this tournament was no different. But what that does mean is that if you find yourself on the kind of wrong side of that result, your tournament can change very quickly from a guaranteed top 4 to you're in a 7th, 8th playoff. And I think that's, some key moments really, really defined Bristol's tournament. Losing by 1 goal to Valparadis, the Catalonian team, really kind of, cemented their bottom half fate, which was a shame to see because I thought they played pretty well. They started well against Barcelona, big win against the Turkish team Yıldız Teknik. So yeah, a shame. And then I feel like they never really recovered from that. But some good performances throughout. James Wilcox, I think we spoke about this. James was showed his experience at that level, and yeah, I think that deserves a call out. I also know Bristol did suffer with some illness mid tournament, which in a short tournament like this is going to have a massive effect. So had to set a start with maybe not the lineup they would have wanted. And then finally, I was pleased to see though players like Sam Ward get some good minutes at the end. He's obviously not been so much in Bristol's first team this year, but has been a massive part of their journey to the top of the National League. So really happy to see players like him and get to play at that level. I could talk about this for longer, but I'll leave it there for now.
No, I think that's really, really fair. You've kind of highlighted, I think, the main talking points of the tournament. I messaged Lizzie Ty separately about this to just basically say it's crazy. I honestly thought they could have won that tournament. When you look at the level that they can reach and the talent that they've got, and you look at how close the games are, it's why these European tournaments are so fun. Because I believe, they've come eighth, unfortunately. So they've come last, but actually they genuinely, with 1 or 2 goals difference and the momentum and the positivity and the vibes, you could kind of swing that to them potentially first or second, which would have been like a euphoric moment for Bristol Thunder, who up until last year, that was never on the cards. So like credit to them for getting there. But unfortunately, just feel like you said, that's the key call out. Big shout out James Wilcox. He was absolutely outstanding in almost every single game. I really felt like he was bringing that energy forward. Great stuff. But that does have some repercussions, I believe, Caitlin, for England. If you want to kind of talk the listeners through what this means now with the context of Nomads coming 5th as well in the satellite.
Yeah, so none of this is confirmed yet. But just Nomads, another one. They were sitting second until one result went another way, and that completely changed their tournament. But yes, because of these low place finishes, it may have implications for the level of tournament that English clubs can qualify for next year. So this year, you'll notice that Becker obviously at the KCL final in 2 weeks. There is no Catalonian team in attendance at that tournament because Catalonia's kind of world ranking and previous European results meant they haven't finished high enough. So their top team only qualified for the second tier of competition, the Challenger just gone. And so it's possible from next year that even the top finishing England team, so the team that wins the National League, they may not qualify for the top tier of European club competition. None of that is confirmed, but it seems fairly possible, which is a shame, especially as we're so keen to start improving on that world ranking. But that's just how these things go.
So it is quite an impactful tournament overall, but important for the listeners to know that there's definitely going to be, I think, a little bit of a potentially additional pressure on Beck's shoulders to go out there and try and secure a really solid finish at this tournament that we've got in a couple of weeks for sure. So but overall, commiserations to Bristol. They've got us this weekend. Beck are playing Bristol. I'm sure they're going to be keen to bounce back from that last week's result. I still think they would have learned so much. A lot of those players have never had that exposure before. I expect a much better Bristol than we've seen this coming weekend. And I do think that can really define where their season goes because they need to get back on track. And they are chasing that top 4. And they need to get back on track, try and get back there next year to rewrite the 8th and get themselves further up. So But, Caitlin, just before we bring in the guest, you were at the inter-area tournament at the weekend. I know some people popped by to say hello, say some nice words to you. The big cheese that you are now, the famous one. But you were reffing that. Give us some thoughts on the inter-area and what the youth development system looks like at the moment in the UK.
Yes, so I was refereeing on the Sunday, which featured the under 13 and under 17 categories, and I was very pleasantly surprised by the standard, but that just goes to show that I haven't kind of stayed on top of youth development in this country. So really great to be there. Lots of exciting young talent, particularly Kent under 17 team really impressed me, and definitely something we want to shine a light on a bit more in the future. those that currently put in a lot of work to develop those teams, but also how you can get involved in coaching at that level, because it's so vital to feed into our senior setups.
Yeah, it's great to hear, and some really positive things coming out of it. And I need to attend more of those as well. And I wasn't around, but need to attend more. And it's exciting to see what's going on in the youth development system of Korfball. But talking of development in Korfball, and talking of of how you can increase your world ranking, I feel that's a nice segue onto our guest, who resides in a country that has absolutely been one of the most exciting kind of countries over the last sort of 10 years or so within Korfball. Think it's a good time to start the intros, Caitlin?
Perfect time. Let's do it.
Perfect time. Right. Off camera. Sara, are you ready?
Yes, I'm so ready for the introduction. Very curious.
Okay. Right. Hopefully we can do our justice here. Okay. So first ever international guest on the For Korf's Sake podcast. Caitlin, we have officially made it. We've done it.
The EU loves us.
Oh, great. Right. So very excited to have some fun coming and joining us. Residing in the Czech Republic and currently playing for Brno. She is a staple of that club and has already achieved so much for club and country. Let me list off some of her accomplishments, okay? A Czech League champion in the 2023-2024 season. Assistant coach to the Czech under-19s when they won bronze in 2024. KCL satellite champion in 2023, part of the best of the rest team that we're coining it, which basically means you placed 4th at the most recent World Games Championships, because the Dutch, Belgians and Taipei are always in the top 3. So they're currently part of the best of the rest country. However, Caitlin, a career of highs like that, of course, comes with overcoming challenges along the way, doesn't it? I can confirm she has played in 7 Czech Grand Finals and only actually won once. So we have essentially found the Czech Republic's answer to Caitlin Fitzgerald.
I'm not sure who that's a compliment for.
Definitely me.
But one thing that I have on good authority, Caitlin, is perhaps the greatest achievement is that she was the chief floor sweeper at the Under-23 World Championships in 2016. Arguably, her rise to Korfball stardom started there, mopping the floor of sweat, but more importantly, proudly bearing the English flag at the Under-23 World Champs in 2016. And now she's making history with us too by being the first international guest on this podcast. We're very excited. Everybody join us in welcoming Czech Republic and Brunei icon Sara Sahatciu is on our podcast.
That was good.
Hello. It was. It was. I'm almost speechless.
Can you confirm the floor sweeping was the highlight?
I confirm that 10 years ago almost, which is crazy, I was the sweeper. I'm not sure if I was the chief, but it might not look like that. But I was sweeping the floor for Caitlin and many other Korfball players at the time.
Keeping us all safe from that sweat. But no, we joke. Thank you so much for coming on. Yeah, it's really exciting to have our first international guest. I will apologise to our Irish and Scottish attendees in the past. We're gonna say beyond the UK and Republic of Ireland, we're going international. And there's so much to speak to you about today, from the great success that both Brno and the Czech national team have achieved in the past couple of years, but also talk about the upcoming KCL in Lisbon, where we may be battling against each other. So you will see group stages go. But before we get into all that fun, a question that we love to ask everybody, and this will be particularly interesting because you're not English. How did you get into Korfball? Yeah, what trapped you into this sport?
Well, I started playing Korfball when I was 10, maybe 11, somewhere around that. And I started because I had a boy best friend at the time, and we wanted to do something together. And a very nice man called Peter Bušík came to my elementary school and showed us Korfball. And it wasn't something I've ever seen before, but it was boys and girls together allowed. And that's exactly what I was looking for when me and my best friend were looking for a hobby. So I started playing Korfball. He stopped after like 5-ish years, I think, but I never stopped.
So yeah, interesting. That's how a lot of people in England also get involved, myself included. And actually, that's a second shout out for Peter Busick on this podcast. Tom Brady, you mentioned him getting very competitive in a game when he has been playing for Slovakia. But yes, from there, obviously, you've continued playing. Have you always played at Brno?
Yes, never changed clubs.
Loyal.
Just Brno. Brno all the way. Only Brno.
No, but I can't relate. You know me switching about. But yeah, no, you've. I was going to ask because did you play there as a junior and then transitioned into the kind of senior team? Talk me through how many years you were playing as a junior and then into that adult setup.
Well, because Brno was kind of short on older people back then. I started playing when I was 10 or 12. I was already playing for the under 16 because that was allowed at the time, I think. So I played my first like competition matches for the under 16 when I was 13, maybe. And then as soon as I could play for the under 19s, I started playing for the under 19s because there were just so few, such like very little players, a little number of players. But yeah, not little. They were tall and stuff, but there wasn't enough of them, so I had to join. And no, so I was playing for everything I could as soon as I could because yeah, my coach for some reason saw some potential in me and wanted me to play as much as I could, which is now very nice. And yeah, so I just started playing. I played for the under 13s, under 16s, under 19s, and then the seniors. And I started playing for the seniors in the Extraliga for when I was like 16, 15 maybe. And I've been playing there ever since.
And how did you find that jump into the top league at a young age?
It was it's a great question. This is very professional. I like it. No, it was. I think I was scared, but I think it's a natural reaction to playing against some more experienced players. And at that time, all the experienced players that were playing with me, or not all of them, but many of them were part of the national team, which I was looking up to them. I wanted to play with them. I wanted to be as good as they were. And at that time, I think the Extraliga was more competitive than it is now. Like more teams were competitive. So it was fun playing. It was terrifying, but fun.
Terrifying, but fun.
Yeah.
The perfect combination. Clearly, yeah, you have such a love for the sport. Consistently are at all the senior tournaments these days and do a lot of coaching as well alongside. Do you have any particular highlights? I'm sure there are many. We can maybe start with Brno and then we can do some like actual Czech national team highlights too.
Well, Brno highlight must be beating Trojans in Lisbon for the
What's like
for the you must have seen that coming.
no.
Yeah, we won the challenger in I don't know what it was, but one of the tournaments in Lisbon against Caitlin playing for Trojans. Definitely a highlight. It was also the most recent international achievement for Brno. But my personal highlight, apart from this, would of course be the one and only final I've won so far.
Yeah, no, it's a shared experience here. But yes, sorry, tell us a bit more about that.
And the national team highlights, I think equally it will be Taiwan or China where we placed fourth. That was, of course, an highlight.
Yeah, and it must be kind of. Sorry, go on.
No, I just wanted to ask in those. Sorry, Caitlin, to interrupt you there.
Yeah.
In those games, Sara, where you're, the grand final at the Czech Republic, for example, how many, I'd love to know how many people turn out to watch that? What's the kind of spectator level like in the Czech Republic for a big game like that? Love to know that sort of information.
Well, I think that's it's the most attended korfball game in Czech Republic every year. The numbers differ, but I would say it's around 500-ish people. That's the goal that they usually have when they organize it, and they wanted to make it special, so they moved it outside of the teams that are usually playing. Nobody has a home advantage, So that's what was happening. But last year, for example, it was in Brno. So it was good for us and much better for us. But I think the turnout would be around 500 maximum, but they're always looking to expand it and they're doing a great job doing it. So hopefully maybe this year it will be 550 or something like that.
Yeah,
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 road for
for
engine.
sure. Yeah, it's just great numbers. So I'm just really keen to understand how that's growing. Yeah. Sorry, Caitlin, go ahead.
No, I was just going to jump on that basically, and actually think it might be kind of worth kind of setting out what the kind of the landscape of korfball is in the Czech Republic, kind of number of players, number of clubs, like how I think it's probably fairly similar to here. But yeah, it'd be good, I think, to kind of first establish that too.
Okay, I have prepared for that.
No,
No, I don't have the exact number of players and nor clubs because so many clubs are only doing youth work right now because they wanted to develop. So there are some new clubs and they're doing really well. But the Czech highest league, Česká Extraliga, now has 5 teams, so that's not a lot. And it's of course because the second league has more teams now, but they don't want to participate in the Extraliga because of the difference of the level, which is understandable because it wouldn't be very nor a spectator friendly nor some of the players friendly. So they're just not participating in that and just waiting to get better until they can join. So the Czech Extraliga has 5 teams. The first league, I think, has around like 8 or 9. And then the under-19 league has many teams because it's only one league. There is no first league for them. There's 10 teams in the under-19 league. But I would say that the number of korfball players in Czech Republic is rising, and it's because of the very good youth work that some of the clubs are doing. Some of the clubs, as I said, are only doing youth work, so they're doing a great job because they can fully focus on developing young korfball talent. But I think it's good. I think we're growing.
Interesting, because I think that's different to what we have seen here. I think there's definitely been a decline in youth intake, and I'd say kind of the average league average age in the national league, so our top league, is definitely increasing. I'd say it's like mid to late 20s, maybe even older now. Was that a conscious decision by the like kind of Czech Korfball Federation? Who's really been the driving force behind that youth focus?
I think that I think I do know. I think that because Brno has been we have had a great program for youth development and working with schools since I've been recruited. So that's more than 10 years, it's almost 15 now. And this Brno has been working with the association to do that and to develop a program that will really work. So they've been doing that since. And Brno has established this, and after that, many other clubs joined, and the association helped them from the experiences they've seen in Brno. So I think that it's a joint work from the clubs and from the association, and I think it's doing wonders. It's definitely one of the reasons why we're doing so good.
And does that involve kind of going into schools and recruiting from there? Is that way that most of the...
It involves just that. They go to schools, promote korfball, and after that they try to provide like tournaments in between schools. So the schools like twice a year can go, and here in Brno they meet at one sports hall and play korfball instead of school for a whole day, which is very nice. And then they do the same for young players who are not members of the team that can play on the national level. So they just play in a small Brno league. So they get as much playing time as they can. Some of them like the sport and stay with it, and then we have korfball stars.
No, I think that actually makes a lot of sense, really, doesn't it? Because and you're starting to see the benefits of that at the senior level. Yeah, when I first started playing seniors, I'd see the Czechs as a game we'd probably win. I think it'd be tight, but we'd probably win. Whereas now I think it's definitely kind of flipped a little bit, and obviously have reached top 4 at the last world tournaments. And I must say, actually, only losing to Taipei by 4 at your last attempt, so not even a way off there. So yeah, definitely that youth focus, I think, has driven things forward.
Sorry, if this is all right, Sarah. While we're on that, I actually just want to kind of get a breakdown for the listeners because I'm relatively visual as well, just to recap. So just to confirm, the way that your league works is you essentially have your top league with 5 teams in it. You've then got a lower league that I think you says has around 10 teams in it.
7.
And then
7. I've looked it up.
And then you go down to the under 19s and then under 16s, and then you have and that's it. So it's not like you've got regional leagues in each place. That's the only league. So teams that
there's just
okay.
one. There are regional leagues for the under 16 because there have been many teams, and the traveling for them would be not very comfortable. There are like Bohemia part and Moravia part, which are parts of Czech Republic, Bohemia, Moravia, and Silesia. So they are like geographic break. So only the under 16s are divided into regional groups. The top league and the top league, Extraliga, Extraliga, and the second highest, and for the under 19s as well, they're all joined. So the players need to travel no matter how far.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I just wanted to kind of get an idea on what that looks like, right? And the different, it's a totally different approach. I think there's similarities, but it's definitely a different approach than we have here in the UK. So yeah, just really intriguing that it's totally different to the UK, and I have no idea if it's different in other countries. I just wanted to get an update for the listeners, like in order, exactly what that looks like. Sorry, Caitlin, please go on to the ambitions of Czech Korfball and where it might go.
Yes, yeah. So definitely, I want to kind of speak about the senior setup because you have been very impressive over the past kind of 5 years. But firstly, yeah, what does being in the senior team kind of entail? How often do you train? There's loads of questions, but let's start with that. How frequently do you train, and what's it like being in that setup?
So I don't know what will happen now because we have a new coach for the seniors team, but so far it has worked like we're meeting depending on the event that we're preparing for. But, we meet usually for a weekend. The frequency differs from when the tournament is due, but we usually meet on the weekends, like 4-5 times before the tournament. So where we play, train, sometimes go and play some international matches. Before China, we went to Germany to play against their national team and against some Dutch team, and so we try to play as many friendly matches as we can. We also, before China, had a conditioning coach, so we, additional to the weekends, we did 3 or 4 practices individually or with our teammates from the city to be prepared physically. So yeah, we usually meet on the weekends, and it differs, but I think it's altogether about 5 or 6 weekends that we meet up.
That's so interesting. I thought it'd be more frequent because that's quite similar to what was happening here. There would be like an intensive kind of 6 to 8 weekends before a tournament. Yeah, I thought you'd probably train all year with it because of the success. That must be why. But no, what was I going to say next?
Professional.
Sorry.
Well, Caitlin, hold that thought. We might not air this, right? This might not go out, but you've got a new coach, but you achieved 4th, which is essentially the best possible result, bar beating Taipei. Like, Taipei are insane, right? And you achieved 4th. It was the coach sacked. Was 4th not good enough? Did they have to get rid of him? You know, like, what's going on there? 4th, and they're like, no, not good enough.
No, he was doing it for far too long. I think it was his decision. It's not that like he got sacked because we were 4th 2 times. So it's just no medals, no coaching. No, it was his decision. He basically what he says is that he wanted to help us by providing us new coach, new vision, or new whatever, because he was already coaching not only us but also the generation before us. So he felt like maybe he needed a break. So it's not that like he was unsuccessful, so they just dropped him. But I think I know it was his decision.
To be fair, go out on top. Go out on top, right? That's
exactly.
some mountain.
Not everybody knows how to do that.
Yeah, he's climbed some mountain. Fair play, totally fair play. Sorry, Caitlin, please go on now. You're
No. Is that a world exclusive that you just brought us there? Is it public knowledge that he's left?
Yes, it is. They've already been playing under the new coach in Rotterdam, so it's not a secret. It's been announced.
God.
Oh well, I thought we got a bit of gossip, but yeah, no, I think that's smart actually. To bring in new ideas and see what you can achieve. I know one thing that kind of limits players in England is the cost of things, because Korfball is all entirely self-funded here, and sports halls, fun fact, in the UK are particularly expensive. It seems. Do you find finances a limiting factor, or are things cheaper? Do you have sponsorship? How does it all work over there? Because you seem to be able to retain players consistently for tournaments. Yeah, you see the same faces coming back, consistent squad.
Yeah, so I think the finances are also a factor, but not as big as in England, from what I've heard from you. So yeah. All my English contacts. No, we need to pay for all the tournaments and for all the weekends, but we need to pay only a part. Usually it's like a half of the expenses maximum, and sometimes it's even less. The association is, I think, doing their best to help the players, and especially if the players have, for example, siblings that need to travel, both of them, and they're not working, or they're young. They set up a limit of maximum expenses that they can reach by 1 year, and after that they can't pay anymore because it would be unsustainable for them. So that's maybe the good prevention from them not making it because of money. But everything costs money, and these tournaments can get very expensive, so it depends on where you're going. For example, the World Games were funded by the Olympic Association for us, so we didn't have to pay for almost anything, which was a nice change. But it's not like it would be unbearable, but it definitely is a factor, and it really much depends on if the person is willing to pay that much money for a korfball tournament.
Often we find that people we love the Korf that much, and
Of
also
course.
can we steal your finance person? They seem very smart. I like that kind of price cap idea, and all seems quite.
There's a lot to unpack there, but very intriguing to how the youth setup is done and how you're funded and how the support network's there, and to see that has clearly worked. That has clearly had a positive impact in terms of the ranking, etc. I hope we can bring something like that to the UK, and I think it shines a light for Caitlin and I that we need to speak to somebody from the England Korfball Association and bring them on to understand, not to shout at them, but to understand what we are trying to do to emulate, I guess, some of the success like you guys are having right now.
Yeah, I think that they're doing a great job at the association, but we're very much dependent on this Czech Republic donation, because it's called the National Sports Agency, and it will distributes money for sports each year, and you need to be placed on a ladder of importance of sports or something like that, but to get as much money as possible. And I think that we've of course been struggling because korfball is not the most popular sport in Czech Republic yet, so it just takes it just takes a lot of work of the people from the association to just get us any money, and they are doing a really great job with that. And I think that they're also doing a great job with making it easier for us to be able to attend and to be able to get better, because it would be just very, very hard without the state money or without their support.
There we go. And there clearly are a lot of dedicated, hardworking volunteers within Czech Korfball. There's been a lot of senior tournaments held there over the past kind of 5-10 years or so, including the next European Championships in October this year will be in the Czech Republic. I'm sure I know your answer to this, but what are your ambitions for that tournament? Where do you see yourselves finishing?
Well, the ultimate goal is to be third. That's the worst option. We would like to be second, but I think the goal, the goal is to be third. We want the medal,
and I think completely possible in a home tournament. I think that adds an advantage. You never know, Belgium. Belgium, we're coming for you.
No,
maybe.
No, I know. No, but maybe. But the goal is to be third, and the home tournament would be really nice. It will be hard, but it's doable. So hopefully,
yeah, sweet. And I think actually, in terms of kind of upcoming tournaments, we should move on to the wonderful Korfball Champions League in Lisbon in 2 weeks. I can't believe it's only 2 weeks, honestly. But of course, very excited for that. I will be attending, as will James, with Beck, and you will be there with Bruno. We're actually there are 2 groups in this tournament. The first group consists of a little known team called PKC, who are the Dutch champions, of course. The German champions, SKC, or oh my god, I asked for their pronunciation earlier this week, and I can't remember it very well, but it's like Sharina Korfball Club. And we also have the Czech champions, Prostějov, and then Beck in one group. And then the other group is Gothenburg, Belgian champions, the German runners-up, Schilden, great pronunciation again from me, and of course the Czech runners-up, because Sara is always a runner-up, Bruno.
Thank you. Wonderful.
So yeah, two great groups there. We'll start with yours, Sara. Your aims for this tournament and who you think is going to be particularly tough competition in the groups, whether that be teams or individual players. I missed out that Benfica are also in your group, the Portuguese champions.
Yes. So our goal for the tournament is to gather as much experience for all the young players that are coming with us, and to do the best we can. So we have the good place for next year for Czech teams. So we remain there are as many places of the Czech teams. So that's the goal, and we want to enjoy the tournament because it's like a reward for doing well in our league. So we want to enjoy, but the competition is going to be tough. I think our group is very, very tough, or it seems like it now. I think definitely the match with Benfica will be very interesting because we are not it's maybe my personal opinion, but I don't like playing against Portuguese teams. Not that I have anything against Portuguese players, but they're just the style of korfball that they play is not very good suitable for Czech korfball, I think. So it's going to be an interesting game, and the games with any Portuguese teams are really close always, so it's going to be a good one, I think. Same with Schildigen. They're going to be a tough opponent. I think that they consistently have very good boys. Like many of the boys are starters for the German national team, and they have been amazing so far. So I think that this is also going to be a tough game. Also, maybe it's possible that we could do great in game. And against the Belgian winner, it's probably not going to be an easy game, but we'll do our best to survive and to enjoy the game.
Survival is key. But no, I understand what you're saying about Benfica and Portuguese teams. There's this kind of insatiable belief that the Portuguese have. No matter what the scoreline is, they can be 7 goals down, but they'll score and you'd think they're winning. The passion is another level.
It's the Vamos effect.
The Vamos.
The Vamos effect.
Yeah. We might have to steal it. Interesting though, Benfica are without some kind of big names who've retired. So Pedro Correa, Luis Rubio. However, they do still have Hugo Fernandez and Julio Rubio, who are both in the top 5 goal scorers in the Portuguese league this year. So I think it's going to be dynamic, physical. But you yourselves have got a lot of youth. You're actually one of the seniors in the Brno team these days.
I am.
Yeah. Who are some standout players you think for yourselves that might be able to take on Benfica?
Well, I think that all the more experienced players, which is very funny in Brno because the experienced players are like 22 years old. No, we definitely have on the girls' side. On the girls' side, we have 1 or 2 very experienced players, both with the national team background. So that would be Eliška Ciglarová. She's a legend, so she will definitely perform her best. And she's played the Portuguese team so many times that she will hopefully be doing great. And also same with Lenka Fartinková. She ended her national team career in Taiwan. But they're both very experienced players. And myself, I'm one of the most experienced, and I'm only 24, which is stupid. But anyway, but on the boys' side, we have young boys who are now members of the national team as well. And they have been improving. And I think that they are very hungry to win everything they touch. So hopefully they'll be hungry to beat Benfica. If I should name them, there's definitely Lukáš Holík, very young and very talented boy, and his brother Vojtěch Holík. They're both very, very good. So I think that and they're already one of the more experienced boys, which is just crazy.
Yeah, they are particularly talented, those two, and I think their matchup against like Jan Robert Hemming for Schildingen and Stefan Heppenhausen are going to be great group stage clashes. And you never say never against Bockenberg. Beck last year only lost to the Belgian champions. It wasn't Bockenberg, it was Hout by 3 goals. So that was a close game. You never know. Just see what happens. Put the pressure on. See how they cope. me coaching you, but yeah, I think a really, really tough group because on paper Beck's group has the Czech and German champions in, but I think both of those finals were quite surprising results last year, maybe. So we'll see. And then obviously, yeah, in Beck's group we got PKC, SKT from Germany, Prostov. You obviously know Prostov very well. Who do you think are their kind of players to watch?
Well, they have also many experienced players. They're more experienced than our experienced players. They're older a little bit, but they've been members of the national team for many years now. Like specifically, it would be Petr Galíček. He had a wonderful tournament in China. He was our best shooter, and he was definitely the difference player in many games. And then Petr Schneider. He has also been a member of the national team for many. So they're also definitely the ones that will stand out. And then also there have few girls that have been the consistent members of the national team as well, both almost the same age as I am. So I grew up playing against them, and I'm still playing against them to this day. And so I think that would be Klára Nováková and Nela Kubu, both very experienced players for their age, and I think that they will be definitely seen there.
When you said they're younger than you, I was like, oh God, we're so old.
Not younger. I mean by like 6 months, maybe a year and 6 months.
It all counts.
No, it doesn't. I'm very young. I feel very young. Not in Brno, but everywhere else.
Yeah. True. Nella, though, obviously having a great season. I've seen that she's in the top 5 goal scorers for the Czech League. I must call out as well that the reason I know this is because of the Instagram account Korfball Style. It was compiled all the stats from the big European leagues, except the German league, but I think they don't post their stats, very secretive over in Germany. But I think, what else do I want to ask on this? What do you think, James?
Well, I mean, it's I got a few questions here that I guess they're probably more random, right? Like this is the first time we're being able to talk to someone publicly from a different country than what different region than what we're used to playing korfball. Shout out Ireland or whatever. You've said earlier, Caitlin, it's not international. All of the island players play for teams in England. So do this. It's only Scotland and let's not go into independence in Scotland. They'll kill us on here. That's what will finally get us cancelled.
That's a different podcast. That's if the rest is politics.
Yeah. But there has been some gossip. There has been some not controversial. I think there's been a genuine consensus over here in the UK regarding the introduction of the IKF's white card. Now we in the UK believe that the white card is it. No, I can't. I'm gonna have to edit that. I'm gonna bleep that. But no, the general consensus is that the white card, and this is not us speaking on behalf of the England Korfball Association. This is purely personal. It's basically mine and Caitlin's opinion, really, and some of our mates. But we're not sure about the white card. What do you think over in the Czech Republic of the sportsmanship white card?
This is not me speaking for the Czech Korfball. My bad. No. I don't think I've discussed it with anyone yet. I must mention now that we're talking about it for the second time today. Petr Buši got the first ever white card on an international tournament when he was coaching Prievidza. Petr Buši used to play in Brno, and he's still doing a lot of things for Brno. He's working here for the kids' development, so I needed to mention him. But I haven't studied anything about the white card. I've only seen the Instagram pictures, and yeah, it's I think very nice. I don't know if I should state it
Very
here,
nice.
but maybe I will, and maybe it will. We will just we'll decide if we want to leave it in. But yesterday, Caitlin texted me that if I get a white card in Lisbon, she's gonna give me €10. And I texted her that I'll do the same if she gets one.
Yeah, so we've got a white card bet on the go.
Yeah, there's been some conversation. Just wanted to get some international opinion on it.
I would love to give you some, but yeah, no opinions yet. Once I get my white card, I will be a fan. Until that, I'm not a fan.
Like it. Okay, few other little questions. When you go to a tournament, this could be with Bruno or it could be with the Czech Republic. What do you generally do for evening activities? What do you guys get up to for fun in the evenings? Anything interesting?
We play cards, Uno to be precise. This is very and we also play rock paper scissors for stupid stuff. Like for random things, we just go on a walk and play rock paper scissors for everything, to like who is going to eat whatever they sell in stands. It's mostly a boys thing, but the girls adapted it as well. But we play rock paper scissors, and I don't know if we do anything special. I think we just hang out. Nothing more interesting. Only the rock paper scissors is probably the interesting. We place bets on everything. We're very competitive.
Okay, I like it. I know that Beck are partial to a game of Uno on a European tour. So if we don't face Bruno in the Korfball games, maybe we have to set up an international Uno game. We have to put our best players forward and see who can topple the Bruno versus Beck Uno special. I like it.
Mind you, our team is very young, and they are like, it's one of the only things they do. They study and they play Uno, so they're very well prepared.
We've got some crafty veterans. There's some crafty vets that I know could do a job. But I like it. Build some suspense for that. And then last couple of things before we go. Where can we watch Czech Korfball?
It's possible to watch Czech Korfball. The only streamed matches are usually the Extraliga games, and not all of them because it depends on who the home team is. But all the games that are played in Brno, Prostějov, and Znojmo are being live streamed. So and they're being live streamed on the YouTube channels of these three clubs. So if we are hosting a game like we play this Saturday, for example, or Sunday, then we have a game uploaded on our YouTube, and if it's played in Znojmo has it on its YouTube, and if it's in Prostějov, then Prostějov has it on its YouTube. This is the only way. No icons yet, sadly.
One day we'll all be on there with a nice highlights reel afterwards as well. But no, that's good.
The only highlight reels need to be on Instagram in Korfball style.
Yes, Korfball style is
international.
Speaking of Instagrams, I had a question about that actually. Who runs and I'm gonna mess up the pronunciation, Repre?
Korfball?
Yes. So you have the serious one, the Korfball CZ, and then there's this one, which is actually if anyone doesn't know it, and I'll ask you to pronounce it properly, it's really funny and like really good content on there. Who does that? Whose idea was that?
The association does it. It's just a way to select not to overwhelm the main account of Korfball CZ. So they just developed this one for the national teams only, because Repre is short for national team in Czech language. So they just wanted to have one designated for only the national teams content. And I think also that they are doing a great job running it, because some of the content is really fun to watch.
Yeah, if you want to see some clips of Sara getting involved in TikTok crazes, head to that page.
Yeah, big influencer. China was only an influencer trip.
Yeah,
China was only me doing TikToks, and we were just there filming content, and then accidentally ended up being fourth in the World Games.
Bring it back. We want to see more. It's good stuff.
Okay, I will say to the people who are doing it, they will be delighted to see that they're doing a good job.
International fans.
But before we go, hopefully we all win our games.
Yeah.
And Beck played Bruno. Sara,
big fat fourth.
Give me a score prediction. If the game happens, what do you think the score's going to be between Beck and Bruno?
Okay, based on my previous experience playing against Beck, which was last year or no, the year before in Poland, and then we've only played you in Poland, but we won one game and lost one game from what I remember. So it's going to be a tight game, and I would say it's going to be 20-19 for us.
I would like to say
goal.
we did also beat you in Germany a few years before that.
I don't no. I don't remember that. I probably wasn't us. Maybe you've mistaken us with somebody. I only remember the games I play in Poland. Everything, yeah, only Poland.
Nice. And follow up, how many am I going to score against you?
It's going to be a big 0. Maybe no, I don't remember. Did you score me in the mighty game in Lisbon?
Yeah, just one though, just the one. You were this close.
But I'm more
winning it.
experienced
We're
now.
this close.
Yeah, this close doesn't count. So
No.
0.
A fighting talk.
Not even a consolation. Not even a consolation goal.
No, I would say that maybe there will be a penalty, but she will for sure miss it. So then,
see, I've seen some of your penalty taking. It's just as wrong.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm making my penalties now.
It's all. Oh, I love this. Just deny it. If in doubt, just deny that it ever happened. But no, that'd be great. I hope we do meet in that tournament. If we do, it'd probably be in a third, fourth, because it's always a tight, competitive game that Beck usually wins. So on that bombshell, I think we will wrap up there.
I think we will wrap up there. Sara, thank you so much for joining us. It's been really insightful and a bit of a knowledge episode for us to learn about all things Czech Korfball. You guys are obviously doing incredible work over there. I'm really excited to see it all in person and watch you guys play in person. And now, we'll definitely be, I'm sure, cheering you on. Well, me and Caitlin will, because you've come on the podcast and no one else has yet. So that means we're Bruno fans. And my dad's wife is from Bruno. So I really should, double down on the Bruno love. Yeah.
Okay. This is good news. No, thank you for cheering for Bruno. That's always welcome. No, and thank you for inviting me. I'm glad that Caitlin finally asked the question. It was just, no, I've been kind of excited to do it, and now I think I did fine, and that this was very fun. And I've listened to your episodes like 3 or 4, and I must say it's as much fun as it seems to be. You're doing a great job as well.
That's very kind. Thank you so much. And you must know lots about England Korfball now, more than you ever thought. Hopefully we can do more of these kind of episodes with other international guests, because it's been really exciting to hear about the Korfball setups in countries with kind of similar number of players. But and just to see how things work there. And also to chat all things KCL. Very excited for that. Yeah, just thank you so much for agreeing to do this silly thing.
No, it's been very professional.
Yeah, except for the bit when I called the white card.
No, that was the best. No. As long as you know how to bleep it, it was professional.
I very much appreciate that. You're a legend for coming on, Sara. I look forward to meeting you in person, and we can all have a drink on the final night. And then I look forward to watching Caitlin drop pure game and many one-handed runners. We'll see. But safe flight over there, and I guess we'll see you in a week's time or a couple weeks' time.
See you soon.
See you in Lisbon.
The fight is on.
Thank you so much. Super grateful. Thank you.
No problem. Thank you. It was fun.
There we go. That was super fun. Really interesting, right?
Yeah, no, it's really great to chat, and the kind of conscious decision to focus on that youth side of things, really seeing it pay off. And they must have some really kind of dedicated volunteers over there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I really do want to highlight, I think we need to get Sam Wells on, who runs the English Korfball Association, because they do so much amazing work, and it's made up of volunteers, and we do amazing work over here. And I don't think enough's done to recognise that. But it's also really keen to understand what we're doing, what's working really well, what ideas we've taken from other countries, what we've tried that hasn't worked. Because, it's just, this is the first time I'm venturing into learning what other countries are doing. And I think it's really interesting, because I'm sure we've tried stuff like that before or whatever. But I think seeing the direction the EK is trying to go in will be a great episode, I think. Just trying to get ourselves back to that higher level and back to, we want to be fourth. We want to be competing in that third, fourth game. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. It'd be great to chat to the EKA about more detail of this because, I know that there's a real drive to an ambition to return to kind of the highs of 2015 and before. And I know there's a lot of great work going on in order to make that happen. So, exciting times ahead. And I think actually that if you want to announce the next guest, that might be quite good.
Yeah, that is a lovely segue into Mike Hopkinson, who is the performance lead at the elite training squad. So that's our England setup. So he's like John Denton's boss, if you will, who's the England coach. He's going to come on and talk through the ambitions and development for England. He's a massive part of Leeds Hurricanes. He's going to talk us all through that, and we're going to get to talk promo. It's going to be a great episode. Really excited. And of course, we do have fixtures on Sunday. I think Caitlin's bringing them up just now.
Yeah.
Some really good games in the National League this week. Who we got, Caitlin?
Yeah, so Trojans take on Cambridge Tigers, who are obviously both teams in form there. Bearsted host Norwich Knights. That could really define their season if they get a win there. Really changes the
Yeah, some great games this weekend. That Bromley Tornadoes game as well. I'm really excited for that. Yes, so great games. And we'll speak to Mike next week. But thank you to Sara for joining us. And Caitlin, as always, I think that rounds us up for the week. So I'll pass over to you to sign us off in all your glory.